Thanos. Might he be the MCU's only unbeatable bad guy? After the end of Infinity War, that's what it looks like. Thanos has won, and we're all wondering how the Avengers and friends can make him unwin. Here's our list of MCU characters that could beat Thanos, including those who didn't survive the snap. Before we begin, subscribe to CBR and ring that bell to join our notification squad so you never miss a video. Without further ado, here are all the MCU characters who could theoretically beat Thanos.
I can fly, I'm indestructible, and I shoot energy beams out of my hands. Feels pretty awesome.
Captain Marvel. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Captain Marvel is going to be instrumental in beating Thanos, because Captain Marvel is basically Superman. Okay, we know, we just jumped to DC Comics, but think about it. DC came first, and one of their first heroes was Superman. Because Superman is all-powerful, the heroes that came after him, regardless of their publishing company, needed to be different, and different usually means less powerful. Originally, Stan Lee wisely made his heroes flawed and imperfect for storytelling purposes, but something had to give. That's why Captain Marvel has basically been Marvel's answer to Superman since the 1960s. Captain Marvel doesn't just have super strength, super speed, and the ability to fly. She also has the ability to boost her powers by just using her own mind.
Nice move, Captain Marvel.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Captain Marvel is the alter ego for Carol Danvers, a NASA scientist whose encounter with dangerous aliens led to her becoming a half-Kree superhuman. The Kree Psyche Magnetron she was exposed to in the comics allowed her to magnify her powers using just her imagination. At the end of Infinity War, Nick Fury uses a SHIELD communication device to send a message to Captain Marvel. That means she'll be instrumental in taking down Thanos. Our guess is that she'll do all the heavy hitting, allowing the remaining Avengers to sneak around behind Thanos' back.
I think you'll find our will equal to yours.
Doctor Strange. Before Doctor Strange, Marvel was closer to science fiction than fantasy. Sure, all superhero comics featured wacky characters with impossible powers, but the conceit was always that there's some science-y explanation for all of it. But Doctor Strange is literally a wizard, and not just any wizard. A wizard that can travel through different realities and parallel universes. Doctor Strange can astrally project his mind into different places. He can banish evildoers to parallel realities. Those are some serious powers that go beyond being physically strong, firing webs out of your wrists or having a fancy rocket suit. But there's a complication. Doctor Strange is dead in the MCU as of Infinity War. He was killed during the snap. Or was he? One possibility is that he, like the other victims of the snap, now exist within the Soul Stone on the Infinity Gauntlet. If so, his powers should allow him to project his mind or even body out of the stone, allowing him and others to escape back into the real world and finish Thanos for good.
Yeah, you can kill the others.
No.
Legion. After years of trying, Disney finally has the cinematic rights to the X-Men once again. That means that mutants can now exist in the MCU. That includes Legion, one of the most powerful mutants in Marvel canon. Legion has telepathy and telekinesis, like other X-Men heroes. In one memorable episode of the FX show Legion, he sinks a whole army of super soldiers into solid concrete, destroying all of them. But his powers go beyond moving things around with his mind and reading the minds of others. He can fundamentally warp reality, which happened once he merged his mind with Syd Barrett's. Those would be important skills to have in your pocket if you're going to be up against Thanos. The big purple baddie is dangerous enough without the Infinity Gauntlet. After all, he's a Titan, and it's a possibility that time travel may be necessary to undo all the deaths caused by the Infinity Gauntlet at the end of Infinity War. If Legion joins the MCU, he could totally take Thanos.
I'm Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
What, you haven't heard of me?
Ant-Man. The Avengers contain some of the most iconic Marvel heroes in comic book history. But in spite of all that, the Avengers, like most superheroes, only have powers that affect the normal physical world. Iron Man's suit just makes him a more powerful normal guy. Cap can use that shield all he wants, but he's just a guy with physical capabilities that have been augmented. Ant-Man is different. Like Doctor Strange, his powers transcend normal reality by using quantum mechanics. Obviously, talking about a comic book movie is not the best occasion for a science lesson, but physicists have been telling us for a century that the world of quantum physics follows fundamentally different rules from the physics of big stuff like people, rocks, stars, and planets. The MCU has clearly followed suit because in the mid-credits scene to Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott Lang is stuck in the quantum realm, which can only be accessed with the mysterious Pym particles, invented by the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym. It's at this moment that he learns of the snapping that occurs at the end of Infinity War. This strongly suggests that the quantum realm is insulated from the Infinity Gauntlet's effects, and so, therefore, is Ant-Man himself. Gamora. Gamora might not come to mind when you think of MCU characters who could match Thanos in either sheer OP madness, but she's Thanos' daughter, which counts for a lot. Unlike her resentful sister Nebula, Gamora was never punished with cybernetic implants, which is why she's so good at beating her sister. But the most important thing to remember is that she knows Thanos better than just about anyone. Now, before Infinity War came out, some speculated that this is exactly what would happen. Gamora would stop Thanos by using her knowledge about her own father. Obviously, that didn't work out so well the first time. That doesn't mean, however, that Gamora still can't affect things in the next film. She might have taken a little bit of fall damage in the first film, but many speculate that she now exists inside the Soul Stone. If she manages to escape, Thanos will once again have to face an enemy that knows him extremely well. Combine that knowledge with that of her sister Nebula, and you have a force capable of stopping Thanos. If not, she can still direct others to take the Mad Titan out because of the knowledge she's gained from being Thanos' adopted daughter.
He would have destroyed us all had I not pulled us into the Soul Gem.
Adam Warlock. At the end of Avengers Infinity War, we see Thanos walking near a big orange gate. He's accompanied by a childhood version of Gamora, the daughter he sacrificed to obtain the Soul Stone. What's going on? Well, in the comic books, the Soul Stone hosts the souls of several heroes who fought Thanos, and that includes Adam Warlock. Thanos manages to trap both Drax and the Silver Surfer inside the Soul Gem. There they meet Adam Warlock, who helps them escape the gem and get back into reality. Warlock also used his connection to the Soul Gem to reincarnate himself. If those comic book events are any guide, Adam Warlock could be key to pulling Thanos out of his comfy retirement, and we haven't even gone into his powers yet. He has superhuman physiology that could also help him go head-to-head with Thanos even if his powers weren't tied to the Soul Stone. As it is, his connection to that stone makes the Soul Stone a liability to Thanos, and because Adam Warlock's life force is so strong, not even death herself can claim his soul. He's basically immortal, which is a good asset in a universe where one guy can kill off half of everything instantly.
You throw another moon at me, and I'm gonna lose it. Stop.
Iron Man. Halfway through Infinity War, Doctor Strange sees all 14 million plus outcomes of fighting Thanos. He knows who will die and who won't. Earlier in the film, Strange says that he would let Tony Stark and Spider-Man die if it meant stopping Thanos from getting the Time Stone.
I will not hesitate to let either of you die, because the universe depends on it.
So it's telling that he changes his mind after the vision, which means there's something about Tony that makes him a match for Thanos later on. What exactly is it? Well, Iron Man is definitely not the most powerful Avenger left alive after the big ol' snap. That title probably goes to either the Hulk or Thor, if the Hulk ever decides to come back out. However, Iron Man is the original leader of the Avengers, and that could matter more than anything else. When you have a huge action movie where superheroes toss buildings and trucks at each other, it's easy to forget that intelligence and guile still matter. Those are two qualities that Tony Stark has in abundance. Not that the other 5 surviving Avengers lack brains and leadership skills, but maybe the trick to defeating Thanos is to keep things simple and outsmart him. That'll require coordination and planning, something that Iron Man excels at. Pure strength and superpowers won't be enough to take out Thanos. Stark will have to outsmart Thanos somehow, but based on Strange's opinion, he might be the only one who can.
Is he under? Don't let up.
Be quick. He is very strong.
Mantis. Yeah, you heard that right, Mantis. The girl in Guardians Volume 2 who can read minds but otherwise seems shy and not very powerful. How could she possibly defeat Thanos, a Titan? Well, there's one group of galactic beings who are more powerful than Titans. They're called the Celestials. They've existed since long before most of the galactic communities we know were founded, and they're notorious for using Infinity Stones. One of the most powerful Celestials is none other than Ego, Peter Quill's father.
A celestial like a god?
Small G, son.
Where Thanos just wanted to kill half of everything, Ego wanted to literally kill everything. His plan was to plant seeds on every planet that would one day germinate and terraform every planet into an extension of Ego himself, killing everything on that planet in the process. The only trouble was that he needed another Celestial to make it work, so he fathered children all over the galaxy and contracted Yondu to bring them to Ego later, usually killing them if they didn't possess celestial powers. Think back on the crazy fight the Guardians had to get through to defeat Ego in Volume 2, but Mantis had the power to put Ego to sleep with her mind. If only she had survived the snap, she could take another whack at putting Thanos to rest in Avengers 4.
All that for a drop of blood.
Well, there you have it. Do you think any of these MCU characters can defeat Thanos? Are there any that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below, and please don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.